Brendan.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Brendan, congratulations. Sum up exactly how you're feeling.
Well, of course we're elated. It was a very tough game, and obviously to win it like we did was special. I felt it was coming. You know, the second half, first half was a little bit broken. You give credit to Aberdeen for that, and we couldn't quite get our flow right. The moments that we did, we looked a threat. Second half, I said to the players at half time, we just have to stay calm. They were playing a man marking game, and eventually if you keep moving the ball, you have to be patient. You've got to move it side to side, in and out. Eventually it becomes really difficult to defend when you're the defending team and man marking, and that's what happened in the game. We got our flow second half much better, passing was shorter, got into good areas, movement was good, and created some good chances, but of course it took us right to the end to make the winner. But that's an incredible feeling, and big congratulations to the players.
We've asked you many times about the treble this season. You haven't wanted to talk about it, but you are now a treble winning side.
Yeah, I've heard a new word come up. The Invincibles was a word that I'd come across. It's a monumental achievement throughout the league. You know, it's been a pleasure to be up here. I've got to say the league has been a fantastic league. It's very competitive. All the teams, they're tough games. We've had to be at our best, which is why I push the players in training every day. So we've come through a league campaign unbeaten, and this today was going to always be a really tough game. I said before, and I repeat, I think Derek's done a brilliant job with them. Made them very competitive, and we had to really respond today. We had to show why we are a champion. You know, to come from behind, to play like how we did second half. You know, we had to adjust to Kieran coming off, and then you have a choice: do you stay a defender on, or do you stay offensive and just reshape it a little bit to try and get your attacking players in the game? So yeah, it's a fantastic achievement, and like I say, it'll take a few days to sink in.
How's Kieran Tierney?
I just seen him there afterwards. His mouth and that's a bit swollen. I spoke to Tim, and he said he may need an operation on his mouth. So, but he's still here, and he got his medal.
How do you rank? I mean, Celtic unbeaten in the league. You've won both cups. That's an achievement that won't be surpassed at all in the future.
I don't think so. I think the biggest, what's been great for me this year, coming in, it was to try and impose and have a clear identity of how we play. And the beauty of we've created that. So over the course of the season, our work, our game model, and now we can build from that. You know, and obviously what we've done is we've shown that with this way of working and this way of playing, you have something tangible to show. So we'll recover now. Some of the players will go away and rest for 3 weeks. Some will have some internationals, but we'll be back in again and look to go again. But I think you use people a lot more clever than me in terms of your words, and you find the right words to describe it. For me at this moment is very difficult, but I think what the players have done is they've made history today. I said to them before the game that what we've celebrated this week, really last week, through being unbeaten in the league, celebrate it. So people will write about history. Thursday night we celebrated the Great Lisbon Lions and what they, achieved back in '67. But today we have to make it. No one's going to write about it if we don't do it, and we had to go out and do it. And the players showed, remarkable courage to go and play and get the result. So it's great credit to them.
You give the players credit, but if we go back to the beginning of the season, it wasn't the same team that played against Lincoln Red Imps. I think the manager from that club was here today. What kind of transformation do you think you've been able to effect on them from then until now?
It's just been growth. It's what I've tried to bring in is a growth mindset in terms of you never be satisfied. We've had one bad session, since I've been here, and that was on Thursday. The players will tell you, if you ask them, I cut it short. The standard, the level, the quality wasn't good enough of what we demand. And whether there was maybe a wee bit floating about in the mind, having won the league and the way we did it, and a wee bit of a celebratory feel, but the session was cut short, and I walked in. So it's not how we work. So we set a standard right at the beginning, which has only fallen short in one training session. Every game we found a solution. Every cup game, and what's that, 47 games, is it, domestically? Incredible achievement by them. But they've bought into how we want it to work. We impose the way, and players improve. If you create an environment, any environment, whatever industry it is in, and it's there, 95% of people will learn and be better. The other 5% I've always said you don't want, because they don't want to learn, they want to just be static and stay. So, but thankfully, I took over a group of players that were very keen and hungry and coachable and willing to learn. And then I took and added one or two bits to that to change the characteristics of the team, to make it dynamic, fast, creative and unpredictable.
Did you see the strike of lightning just as the winning goal went in? Divine intervention?
Someone said that to me. I'm just glad it never hit Tom before he had his shot. Someone did say that, but maybe the stars were aligned this year. I remember the centenary year for Celtic, and there's just a feeling about this season, but don't get me wrong, we've had to earn it. We've had to work hard.
Achieved what only Jockstein and Martin Hill have achieved before you in terms of winning a treble against Scotland. Does it feel like they're being mentioned in the same sentences, these guys?
Well, it's a huge honour, Gordon. I think that what they've achieved, and I think you see how difficult it is, the great history of this club and the great managers and players that have been here before me. It's still a very, very difficult thing to do. So to have achieved that in the first season and alongside everything else that we've done, it's very humbling to feel like I still get a wee bit of a funny feeling, a bit, it doesn't sit quite right with me when I hear that Jock was the real big pioneer of leading the club the way it wanted to go. Martin done an incredible job here, and history will judge me. I've only just begun, really. So when I leave here, people will look and what I did. But it's been truly enjoyable, and for me, it's a privilege to manage the club, and it's a real special feeling today.
Brendan, when you say the bar so high, how do you talk this?
Well, I think that there's lots to achieve. We'll sit down as a group again. We need a rest now. I need a rest. I'm tired. I need to go away, and we need to refresh, and then we'll sit down again in the summer and we'll look at what we want to do this year. But the beauty of it is, as I said, we've set a way of working and a mindset in place, and we'll look to go again next year. We want to develop in European football. I think this season was a great learning for that. But you always have to constantly improve. It's not something this year that you always have to be careful. You have to be careful as a coach, manager, player. You do well, and you can set, you can create a rod for your own back. I don't want that to be that way. We just want to continue to improve. It might mean we might lose some games next season. We might not win everything, but we can still progress, and that's the key for us for next season.
What was your view, Brendan, what happened to Kieran? Do you think that was accidental or otherwise?
Well, I'll have to say it again. My initial reaction at the time was it's twice it's happened now. He was really. He took a heavy elbow up there at Pittodrie in the game that we won 3-1, and he was out and down for a while in that game. And it's a difficult one, that one, because when the player's sort of running and he's jumping high and the elbow is up, then that can happen. But for it to happen again, it's. I don't want to comment too much on it because I need to see it again. But the kid now probably needs an operation on his mouth. So I'm just surprised that the officials and especially the fourth official didn't see it. It was incredible. There was nothing done on it.
Is Does that mean he's out of the Scotland game, would you say?
I don't know. But I think he had an issue with his teeth that came through into the palate and his top of his mouth, which is, can't imagine how sore that is. So he's going to need some protective work on that, and he'll need, as is the specialist, to look at that. So I don't want to rule him in or out. I don't know enough detail on it, but that was the extent of the injury. Okay, have a good summer, everyone, and I'll see you.